Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, joined now by Dr. Victor Fiong, who is a rights lawyer, also trustee of African Child Diaspora Foundation. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
Well, continue with this youth unemployment and what needs to be done to ensure that a lot more youths are empowered out there. Today we see that the incoming president says youths must have jobs for Nigerians to enjoy peace. So clearly they've been able to identify that, yes, that's a given, that's key to moving them forward. How do you think you should approach this?
Let's start by saying that I agree with Mr. President-elect that youth must have jobs for Nigerians to enjoy peace. First and foremost, I want to say that the whole saying that the idle mind is the devil's workshop, it's very critical in approaching this issue of youth unemployment in Nigeria, because where the youths are unemployed, there is a tendency for vices to grow in the society. And it's important that the enabling environment be provided for youth employments.
But do you think the youths are also approaching this the right way in terms of making themselves available, not just looking for maybe certain kind of jobs? Because remember, we've got the technical colleges, we've got so many of those institutions that they can attend and then get the requisite qualification and move into the industry.
Yeah, that brings us to the issue of youth not being employable in Nigeria. I don't think I agree with that opinion. The Nigerian youths are employable. And when we talk about the employability of the Nigerian youths, we are looking at fresh graduates. And so in every establishment where graduates are freshly employed, there ought to be provision for training and retraining. Yes, the Nigerian youths are ready for employment.
But should emphasis be on just fresh graduates? Remember, it's about the skill set, what you can do.
Yes, I agree with you. No, I was starting with the fresh graduates, since we are looking at the employability or otherwise of the Nigerian youths. We are looking at the fresh graduates. My opinion is that our fresh graduates are employable. They are, because we should not expect so much from them. There should be provision for training and retraining of fresh graduates.
Are we paying enough attention to the technical colleges?
I would say no. I would say no. I would say no. For instance, in Cross River State, we have just one University of Technology. And I think that given the number of youths who are in the streets, there ought to be more provision for technical colleges and institutions. We're not paying enough attention. There are no clear-cut programs of government for the youth in terms of technical education. The government hasn't done enough to provide for this category of Nigerians.
You talked about the employability otherwise of young people, and you say that for you believe they're employable, but the employers definitely have their own views. They're the ones going to employ them. They believe that, for you to even undergo training, in an organization, you must come with certain skills. For instance, you must be able to speak, read and write English language properly, which some graduates, in quote, cannot do. So for you to say that you believe that they're employable, are you saying that they should start from scratch with training them?
Not really. Let me say this. Anyone who says that the Nigerian youths is not employable, is not speaking the truth, is either making excuses or he has no job.
But have you seen graduates who cannot speak English correctly, or who cannot, write English coherently? Have you seen graduates like that?
Yes, I've come across a few graduates. I am a lecturer, a teacher, so I've come across a few persons who are able to speak correctly. And it's important to also mention that it's not every job that requires speaking English correctly. There are some jobs that are technical. And so if the youths have the
Yeah, but
requisite training.
the youths, you know, that you've spoken to in the course of just trying to sound them out and get their opinions in terms of how they need to conduct themselves, what do you deduce from their mindset, their thinking about how to approach certain jobs in the society? Because different kind of jobs are out there for them to target and see the appropriate job for them to start off. What do you get from what they think, how they want to approach some of these things, or the challenges that they're usually confronted with?
Even the ones that can speak English, that is.
Yeah.
Across board.
Yeah, I think basically the challenge is with the system, the way things are in this country. The youths themselves think that government is not making adequate effort to accommodate them. There is so much corruption in this country, you agree with me. And given that foundation, the youths have been left behind so much so that they are looking for just anything.
Pardon me to jump in. Are they making that statement based on adequate information? Because, Dr. Eddie was here. He says some people go to the wrong places to seek for funds, and many are not even aware of some of the agencies that can support their businesses or can provide that guidance for them to start off with.
Information has to be made available to the youths.
So if they don't know, they can't then say that government doesn't care or cater for them. Can they say that?
Well, if they don't know, it's because government hasn't made information available to. Yes, government must make information available to the youths as to what they can apply themselves to. If there are loans available for youths, for instance, government should communicate that.
What kind of things do you tell them, the youths out there?
Well, we have leadership programs for our youths. And so, as a matter of fact, we think that there are certain leadership prerequisites which are a must to attain leadership in this country. Leadership in terms of being able to provide employment, not just for yourself, but for others. And so the Nigerian youth must be prepared, must equip himself, must also make himself available for training and manpower development. So it's important.
You know, it's amazing how you disagree that we don't have youth that are not employable.
No, I didn't say so. I didn't say we don't have youth that are unemployable.
So you don't believe in that?
But it's. I don't agree with the generalization.
Okay.
Generalizing that Nigerian youths are unemployable.
But
no.
you counter that with another generalization, that Nigerian youths are employable.
That's generalization.
That's another generalization.
Yes, with exceptions.
Okay,
with
good.
exceptions.
I think now we're quite clear. So how optimistic are you, knowing full well that we have those and that are not too good, and those that you say are employable but they're not engaged at the moment?
But I want to see a situation where those that are employable are employed. So what's the challenge? Those.
What do you think is the challenge is?
The challenge is that there are no jobs. There are no jobs.
You know, only recently,
there are no jobs.
Just a moment. Only recently, Channel Television was in a conversation with one of the leading, let's say, platforms for employers and employees in this country.
Okay.
And what came out of that conversation was that sometimes it's not a question of there are no jobs. He says if you go to our website, there are thousands of jobs. But the people who are, applying for these jobs do not seem to have skills that match these jobs. Do you think that there ought to be like a different level of engagement? For instance, there are jobs that need to be done, but there's no one to do them. And you find a situation whereby we're going to other neighboring countries to look for people who would do these jobs. It would seem that there is a disconnect as to what is in the market and what is available.
It's unfortunate.
Have you come across that scenario as well?
I have, but it's quite unfortunate. A situation where you are advertising for an employment, and you expect people to have the skills when they've not been previously employed. You're asking for an applicant to come with an experience, 3 years experience, 4 years experience, and all of those. Whereas these are youths who have never been employed before. We're talking about 16 years of non-employment of the youths. And here you're advertising for a position where you expect the Nigerian youths to have 3 years experience,
Can we
4 years
totally,
experience,
just a
and so on.
moment, can we totally exonerate young people from that? Because, you know, we found out that over the years, if we had been wiser, with benefit of hindsight, even my own personal life, I know that if we had been wiser, say from even year one, you could have taken up holiday jobs. You could have taken up jobs for free with the, you know, idea that you're going to be building up your own experience, as it were. Can we totally exonerate young people from that?
Well, while that might not be possible to completely exonerate the young people, but I want to say that it's totally impossible for you to expect young people who have never been previously employed to have the requisite experience that is most often advertised in Nigeria.
All right, Dr. Victor, I'm afraid that's where we'll have to let it go here today. Thank you very much indeed for coming on today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, that's the show. We'll thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
Well, thank you for watching. I'm Maukwe Ogun.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman. I'll let us see you again.